Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Big changes headed our way. First, we warm up today and tomorrow following our next weather maker, which will bring us some rain, especially Wednesday morning. Could affect your travels. I'll show you how much colder behind the front for Thanksgiving.
And crash after chase. State troopers say a person is in custody after hitting another car in North Raleigh to end that chase. What we know about how it got started.
Also, murder suspect in court. The man accused of killing a Wake Med police officer will face a judge today. The questions that remain about what led up to that shooting. Here in the 8 o'clock hour, we've got lots to share with you, including a big backup on US 1 North and Apex. We'll get to that shortly, but thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yes, welcome to your Monday. Definitely a very chilly way to start your Monday. Beautiful sunrise, but boy, Elizabeth, it's chilly out there right now.
It is. Temperatures dipped into the 30s almost everywhere this morning. We take a live look at North Hills. Nothing but blue sky, and we're seeing that everywhere. Just gorgeous. Of course, this is going to be a fairly busy place over the weekend. Right now, 39 degrees in the Triangle. Our winds are nice and calm, which is great news. No wind chill to deal with. And we're beginning to warm up slightly. It's 41 now in Southern Pines, 38 in Rocky Mount, 35 South Hill, but still holding on to freezing there. In Roxborough, you might have some patchy frost on your windshields this morning. Mid-60s for highs this afternoon, very similar to yesterday, starting with some patchy frost this morning. Then we'll see increasing temperatures for Tuesday and Wednesday. Then a front comes through. We'll talk about when you could see the rain. I'll walk through it Futurecast, and then turning much colder for Thanksgiving and next weekend. Ken?
Elizabeth, lots to get to here in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's start with what's happening there in Apex. This crash just cleared. The icon just moved away. So right now we're still seeing lingering delays. That crash was on US 1 North right near the Highway 64 interchange. But if you're in a rush this morning, you might want to still stay on Williams Road, Highway 95, or take I-540 as an alternate route. Yes, it's a toll, but you will be avoiding the slowdown that we're seeing right there on on US 1 North, because at one point it was up to like 45 minutes, then it dropped to like 37 minutes. Right now, it's a situation there that we're looking at, just still a 30-minute delay there in that particular area of US 1. Now it's down to 17 minutes, so that's really good news. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown on I-40 eastbound around Aviation Parkway. You're looking at an 8-minute delay. That southern loop of the Beltline, boy, things have really gotten jammed up there, particularly between Lake Wheeler and Jones Franklin Road there in the Cary area. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. The other troubled spot, US 1 coming in from Wake Forest. You're looking at a 6-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. Highway Patrol says they have a person in custody after an early morning chase ended in a crash. The crash happened on Falls of Neuse Road near Falls Church Road around 2:15. Troopers say the chase started when they attempted to pull over a car at Wake Forest Road and US 401. The chase ended when the car crashed into a car that was not involved. The suspect had minor injuries. We are still trying to get an update on the condition of the other driver. Happening today, the man accused of killing Wake Med officer Roger Smith is expected to make his first court appearance. Smith was shot and killed back on November 8th at the Wake Med campus in Garner. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at the Wake County Justice Center this morning. And Kelsey, the suspect, Benji Martin Jr., expected to appear in court today.
Yes, Michelle. Today, Benji Martin Jr. is scheduled to be in court here at the Wake County Justice Center a little bit later today. He's facing murder charges after Wake Med police officer Roger Smith died on duty. Now, our cameras were rolling as Martin went to the magistrate's office for the first time Friday. We'll also show you some video from the day the shooting happened. Multiple 911 calls give us insight into the chaos that unfolded inside the Wake Med Garner emergency room. You can hear several gunshots in the background while a caller said Martin was fighting with Smith.
We need police to come to the Wake Med, the Garner ED. We got a patient that's he's trickled out bad.
Martin was also shot that day and stayed in the hospital for the last 2 weeks. His court appearance is scheduled for today at 1:30. And coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear the 911 call that captures the moment the situation got out of control. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And WRAL will be following all of the new developments in Martin's court appearance. You can download the WRAL News app for all of the updates on the story. Watch WRAL News this afternoon starting at 4 as our team covers the latest developments. The Garner community will honor Officer Roger Smith this weekend. A memorial ride will happen on Sunday morning. It'll start at the Garner Performing Arts Center and will pass Wake Med Garner. Operation Fly Our Flag is the group putting on the event. It's also selling stickers to raise money for Smith's family.
Deputies in Harnett County are investigating how a 4-year-old boy was badly injured and found on the side of the road. Witnesses say this happened in Anger off Harnett Central Road. A woman we spoke with says she and her son, her daughter-in-law, saw him fall off a moving truck. She says they immediately called 911 as the truck kept going.
He had a big cut on his head, and his arms and legs and knees, they were all scraped off. His little toes, his shoes were all torn where he was dragged under the car, and his teeth, he lost some of his teeth too. He's just a baby. He shouldn't have gone through this.
My son is 4 years old. My goodness, the Harnett County Sheriff's Office confirmed they're investigating. The boy was taken to Wake Med. We're still trying to get an update on his current condition.
Authorities in Wake County are investigating 2 deadly road rage shootings in just the last few days. The first one happened this past Thursday on US 64 near Lizard Lick Road. The Wake County Sheriff's Office confirmed that 55-year-old Derek Godwin died from his injuries. Investigators identified the shooter and said there is no active search. They say they are continuing to investigate, but no arrests have been made at this time. And the second shooting happened on Knightdale Boulevard near Old Millburney Road on Saturday morning. 39-year-old Corey Hansen was shot and killed. This is video sent in by a viewer. It shows the intense moment between the 2 men in the middle of Knightdale Boulevard. One of them appears to be yelling and charging at the other person. The other man in the video backing up with one hand stretched out and holding what looks like a gun in the other. That's when he's pushed. Both men fell to the ground. We are not able to see what happens next as the viewer drives away. The Wake County Sheriff's Office says they are aware of this video. They have identified the shooter, but have not announced any arrests. And in both cases, we've asked why there have been no arrests, whether they were in self-defense, and is anyone in custody. The Sheriff's Office released a statement reading in part, the investigation into both shootings remains ongoing and we are committed to conducting thorough and accurate investigations over speed. Investigators are looking at all possible motives, including road rage. We recognize there are questions due to the active and ongoing investigation. The information we can release at this time is limited.
And with just days to go until Thanksgiving, food banks in our area are preparing for an increase in traffic. WRAL's Ali Catlabar was at the Catholic Charities involved this morning as it gets ready for a rush.
They're expecting to serve about 300 families just today, and they're going to serve a cart of groceries like this one. This is only expected to last a family about a week, but they're expecting to serve double the number of families that they usually do. And CEO of Catholic Charities, Lisa Perkins, says that Thanksgiving, it's a time when families want to gather together around a meal, but they may not be able to afford the ingredients to do so. But they've been experiencing a high demand for a while now, especially this month with the government shutdown and concerns over SNAP benefits. Perkins says that their shelves are emptier than usual.
The food is just going so much faster because our numbers are rapidly accelerating. And so as you see, usually we wouldn't have empty shelves, but the demand is just hard to keep up with at this time.
And they're asking the community or anyone who can donate for monetary donations. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Catlabar, WRAL News.
The Tri-Area Ministry Food Pantry is giving out turkeys today for people in need this holiday. The nonprofit organization is partnering with the Wake Forest Police Department for its annual Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. They're giving away more than 1,000 turkeys and sides. The giveaway starts at 7 o'clock this morning, so it started about an hour ago at the food pantry on Holding Avenue. The meals are being distributed on a first-come, first-served basis, and the giveaway will go until supplies run out.
Well, the war in Ukraine could be at a critical moment today. U.S. and Ukrainian leaders say they're refining a ceasefire plan. Negotiators are currently meeting in Geneva. They're working on a plan proposed by President Trump. These new developments also are linked to the previous talks between the U.S. and Russia. Negotiators sound optimistic ending the war is possible.
Today, several more student walkouts are planned to protest the Trump administration's immigration enforcement here in North Carolina. Some students at Sanderson and Southeast Raleigh high schools in Wake County are planning walkouts. Students at Corinth Holders High School in Johnston County are doing the same. Just last week, there were also student protesters who walked out in Durham County as well. Also happening today, civil rights leader William Barber will speak publicly against cuts to Medicaid and SNAP benefits. Organizers say they'll be speaking on behalf of the people these cuts affected. They're also set to demand Congress to vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies. That was one of the main points of negotiations from Democrats during the government shutdown. That demonstration will be at the North Carolina General Assembly at 11 o'clock this morning.
Top now 8:10, a hazard for babies. Amazon pulling a piece of children's furniture from its website. The serious risks regulators say it poses for children.
And cooking carefully. Eating well and staying safe is so important this holiday season. A new warning about the risks you could face when you're cooking your turkey.
Our next weather maker will bring some warm temperatures tomorrow and Wednesday, and then some cold air just in time for the holiday. Also a chance of some showers. I'll walk you through it on Futurecast. 8:13, temperatures still in the 30s in some places. 38 in Wilson right now, 39 in Raleigh and Durham. Fayetteville's checking in at 46 degrees. We're seeing sunshine, clear skies everywhere. Weather's going to be fine for picking up those last things at the grocery store. We'll see highs in the mid-60s this afternoon. Can't make it out until later. Even at 6 o'clock, it'll be in the mid-50s. No, not terribly cold. We warm up and see some showers late Tuesday into the first half of the day on Wednesday. I'm going to walk you through Futurecast and take a look at that coming up. But let's talk about your travels on Wednesday. If you're going to be traveling up I-95, Baltimore, D.C., Richmond, you're going to run into some showers. But if you're headed to the south, it looks drier. Looking at Savannah at around 78. Could be a few showers, though, from Fayetteville, between here and Fayetteville. And then if you're headed east and west on I-40, even back over toward the Triad, you're going to run into some showers. But if you're traveling eastward on Wednesday toward the coast, it'll be a bit drier. Ken?
What is happening now with the WRAL Traffic Center? Some good news to report about that situation that we've been following in Apex. That crash right there on US 1 North around the Highway 64 interchange is completely cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays in the area all the way back to Highway 55 this morning. So right now, you're just looking at a 9-minute delay if you're coming in from Apex, so keep that in mind. We're still seeing a little bit of a slowdown around Aviation Parkway. That's why you're seeing a 4-minute delay coming in on I-40 eastbound. In terms of our friends in Wake Forest, you're looking at a 5-minute delay. I'm also monitoring a crash on I-95 southbound near Four Oaks in Johnston County. I'll let you know how that's going to continue to affect your morning commute.
All right, thank you, Ken. 5 on your side has a recall alert this morning. Amazon pulling a piece of children furniture over a risk for serious injury or death. Amazon is recalling certain play yards made by retailer Anna Queen. And this is because the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said babies could end up being trapped under the mattress or between the sides of the play yard. The agency says the affected products were sold on Amazon starting in March of this year. About 70 were sold. No injuries or deaths have been reported so far, but consumers are encouraged to stop using the product. You can contact Anna Queen for a refund. The DOJ is asking a federal judge to reconsider unsealing grand jury materials related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. The judge in Florida previously rejected the request to make the transcripts public. The DOJ is trying again because lawmakers passed a bill demanding the release of all files related to the Epstein case. It's unclear which files the DOJ will release or if some will be withheld because of ongoing investigations.
Well, President Trump is doubling down on his calls for the arrest of a group of Democratic lawmakers. This is in response to a video in which they urge troops to disobey any illegal orders from the Trump administration. In his most recent Truth Social post this weekend, Trump called the move sedition at the highest level. This is just days after he called the video seditious behavior punishable by death. These 6 lawmakers previously served in the military or intelligence community. Now, in a statement, they said they would not be intimidated.
Well, some of you might have woken up to frost this morning, but the temperature is above freezing and How is that? Why does that happen? Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us the few reasons why in today's Ask the Meteorologist, Chris.
Yeah, Michelle, it's kind of confusing, right? You have a temperature of maybe 36, but you see frost around. A lot of that has to do with how temperatures are measured. They're measured 6 feet above the surface or 2 meters so that we don't get any kind of ground influence really getting in the way of that temperature reading. But cold air continues to sink down toward the ground, and so the grass might actually be 32 degrees, whereas the air is 36. Another thing you might notice is the frost on the windshield or maybe on your house's roof. That has to do with how those materials and how those surfaces are radiating heat. So they're quicker to lose their heat, quicker to cool down. So while the air might be 36, they're getting some frost. Not looking at frost Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning, 60 degrees, that ain't happening. But by Friday morning, if the wind calms down, and Saturday morning, could be looking at some more frost. And with that, your Thanksgiving Day forecast coming up in a few minutes, and we've got you covered anytime on the free WRAL weather app.
Well, happening today, Durham County Commissioners will be collecting food for people needing a little extra help during tonight's State of the County address. The focus of tonight's meeting will be about the county's accomplishments over the last year. It will also address what improvements are happening right now. People are also encouraged to bring canned goods and non-perishable food items for food banks all across the county. Tonight's meeting will be at the Durham County Government Building on East Main Street starting around 7 o'clock. Heads up, drivers, NCDOT getting ready to unveil upgrades to I-295 in Cumberland County. The final stretch of the 39-mile loop is almost ready for drivers. The Department of Transportation is holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony tomorrow. Crews have been working on the loop for years. The final stretch will connect Camden and Rayford roads.
Well, cooking a turkey for Thanksgiving can turn the celebration into a nightmare if you do it incorrectly. That's why the Clayton Fire Department provided this cooking danger demonstration. Deep frying a turkey is one of the riskiest cooking methods. Fryers use large amounts of oil, and that can lead to serious burns and fires like this if not handled carefully. Only use fryers outside on a flat, stable surface. Keep children and pets away from it, and never leave the fryer unattended. Also, thaw the turkey first. A frozen bird dropped into hot oil, not good. It can cause serious splattering and fires. And this evening, our WRAL severe weather team ready to roll out our winter weather predictions. You can catch it all on WRAL News tonight at 6. And who knows? Are we going to get some snow, Elizabeth? Maybe.
I cannot give it away. You have to watch it.
You
6
have
o'clock.
to tune in.
I mean, if I was wish casting what it
Yes.
would be, we would have, at least a foot of snow
Yes.
minimum, and, maybe 4 or 5 different snow times that we would snow. But, I can at least tell you the forecast doesn't look like a foot of snow. But anyway, to see how much, you have to tune in tonight. It's going to feel like spring for the next couple of days. Today, pretty close to normal, but tomorrow and Wednesday, really warm ahead of a cold front that'll bring some showers late Tuesday into the first half of Wednesday. Behind it, it could be cold enough to snow, at least at night, as we get through the holiday weekend. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. All is quiet right now, lots of sunshine, cool temperatures. We were solidly in the 30s in most places this morning, but we've begun to warm up. This is the cold front that will help to bring us some rain for late Tuesday into Wednesday, but it's not going to look like this. Lots of thunder and lightning. That could cause some travel problems for folks planning to travel tomorrow and or Wednesday, as we may have some trickle-down airport delays because of that. We'll be dry for at least the first part of Tuesday, but ahead of the front, we see much warmer temperatures. Notice how the clouds begin to thicken up as we get closer to lunchtime for tomorrow. And then right around the evening commute, a quick shower rolls through. It's not looking like a whole lot, a little break overnight. And then early in the morning, notice by around 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, or Wednesday, I should say, we have this band of rain that comes through right ahead of the front. It may be kind of patchy for us between 9 and noon. And then after that, we're done and we begin to clear out, and temperatures will start to drop pretty dramatically. How much rain will we see on Tuesday and Wednesday? Probably less than 1/4 of an inch, but you don't have to go too far to the west to see a good bit more rain. Could be 1/2 an inch to maybe even approaching an inch back across the western Piedmont and the mountains. Your Thanksgiving travel, we have the chance of some rain late Tuesday and for the first half of Wednesday. But again, it doesn't look like a whole lot. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look dry for traveling. Temperatures will be chilly starting Thanksgiving Day. Temperatures will fall into the mid-50s by the afternoon. And then Black Friday and Saturday are looking like highs in the low 50s. Friday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the 20s in terms of the wind chill. Wednesday, before the cold air arrives, if you're going to be out tailgating for hockey for the holidays, it looks great, and then we're nice and dry for the weekend.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. A couple of things I want to bring your attention to is a situation where this to the east of Raleigh, we still have that crash at Lizard Lake Road. And it's probably in the clearing phase and not really causing any delays, but I wanted to let you know that that crash is still existing, so you don't have to worry about Highway 64, I-87, those westbound lanes. We are monitoring this situation in the Four Oaks, Johnston County area, looking at a crash closing at least one lane there around the Four Oaks area. So you might want to take Highway 301 in Smithfield, work your way on 301 past Four Oaks, and then work your way back onto I-95. Here's a southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Boy, things have gotten really good there on that southern loop. No delays in that southern loop whatsoever. Using Wade Avenue to get to Durham this morning, you're looking at just a 3-minute delay. Oh, the big picture, very little to no delays, just a 5 minutes if you're coming in from Wake Forest.
Thank you, Ken. Finding the best luggage before you hit the road or head to the airport. 5 on Your Side has the highest rated options you'll want to hear about. And holiday spending. People are gearing up for a big weekend of shopping after Thanksgiving. How the state of the economy is impacting how companies prepare.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. A good idea to grab your jacket before you head out the door this morning. It's a chilly start, Elizabeth.
Temperatures in the 30s still in a lot of places. It's 39 in Durham and Raleigh right now and 46 degrees in Fayetteville. Lots of sunshine everywhere, and our temperatures are on their way up. We're near normal for this afternoon with temperatures in the mid-60s and lots of sunshine. We climb into the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Late Tuesday, we could see some showers, and that could last into early Wednesday. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. The real situation brewing right now on I-95 South. If you're getting ready to head south for your early Thanksgiving road trip, we got a situation we just heard from NCDOT that I-95 is closed around the Smithfield Road exit, Smithfield, I should say, in terms of a crash there. There's also another crash down in the Four Oaks area, so a real jam session there on I-95 South. You might want to take Highway 301 there in Smithfield and work your way around that situation. I'll have another update at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
Thanks, Ken. Highway Patrol says they have a person in custody after an early morning chase ended in a crash. The crash happened on Falls of Neuse Road near Falls of Church Road at 2:15. The suspect had minor injuries. We are still trying to get an update on their condition of the other driver. And the man accused of killing a Wake Med police officer will be in court today. Benji Martin Jr. faces murder charges in the death of Officer Roger Smith on November 8th at the Wake Med campus in Garner. His court appearance is today at 1:30. Coming up next on Fox 50, how food banks are preparing for the Thanksgiving holiday. And coming up on Today, a thanks and giving story just in time for the holidays.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
That breaking news takes us to I-95 southbound in Smithfield. We just heard from NCDOT that it's crashed, shutting down those southbound lanes. I'll let you know how to get around this major backup right now on I-95 South.
And our next weather maker will bring us a cold front, warm ahead of it the next couple of days, and then turning much colder behind it. I'll also walk you through our chance for rain.
And a murder suspect in court. The man accused of shooting and killing a Wake Med police officer is facing a judge for the first time. The questions that remain ahead of his court appearance happening today. One of many stories we still have for you in your 8 o'clock hour. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. I think a lot of people getting an early start for their road trip. I-95 South. I'll have a look at that crash and what the issues you're facing there. But let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking a chilly morning.
We're looking at beautiful conditions here in North Hills with lots of sunshine, sunny skies everywhere, but we did drop into the mid and upper 30s this morning, still sitting at 39 here in the Triangle. Our wind is nice and calm. It's a little warmer down to the south. It's 49 now in Clinton, but still 39 in the Triangle. We dropped to freezing in Roxborough earlier, but now we're up to 36 degrees. So slowly we're starting to warm up with some sunshine. Should be a comfortable afternoon with highs in the mid 60s. If you have to be out and about later on today, temperatures will drop down into the mid 50s by around 6 o'clock. So some patchy frost this morning. Otherwise, increasing chances for rain late Tuesday and for the first half of Wednesday. And then much colder for Thanksgiving. I'll show you the cold front that we'll see.
All right, happening now in the WRAL traffic center. I want to get right to that breaking news that we just told you about. I-95 South. We're hearing from NCDOT that those southbound lanes in Smithfield are closed right now as a result of a crash. We've also been monitoring another crash in the Four Oaks area as well. So it's been a real situation where people are completely shut down on I-95 South. So if you're getting an early start to your Thanksgiving travel, you might want to take Highway 301 as an alternate route as a result of what's happening there in I-95 South. I'll keep monitoring that, let you know how it's going to continue to affect your morning commute. Back here in Raleigh, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, boy, things looking really good this time of the morning on that southern loop of the Beltline, which is rare this time of the morning. Just looking at a 2-minute delay. If you're using Wade Avenue to get to I-40 westbound this morning, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay. So in terms of the big picture, here's what we're looking at. Just a 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown around Wade Avenue and Aviation Parkway. That's why you're seeing a 3-minute delay coming into the Raleigh County area. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoon Descent on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Highway Patrol says they have a person in custody after an early morning chase ended in a crash. The crash happened on Falls of Neuse Road near Falls Church Road at 2:15. Troopers say the chase started when they attempted to pull over a car at Wake Forest Road and US 401. The chase ended when the car crashed into another car that was not involved. The suspect had minor injuries. We are still trying to get an update on the condition of the other driver.
Today, the man facing murder charges in the shooting death of Wake Med police officer Roger Smith is expected in court. Benji Martin Jr. is set to face a judge for the first time since that shooting. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at the Wake County Justice Center this morning with what more we know about this.
Today, Benji Martin Jr. will be in court here at the Wake County Justice Center. He's facing murder charges after Wake Med police officer Roger Smith died on duty. Our cameras were rolling as Martin went to the magistrate's office for the first time Friday. We'll also show you some video now from the day the shooting happened. Multiple 911 calls give us insight into the chaos that unfolded inside the Wake Med Garner emergency room. You can hear several gunshots in the background while a caller said Martin was fighting with Smith. One 911 call reveals how quickly the situation got out of control.
We've got an officer shot here at Gardner ED. We need the police and ambulance.
Is the suspect still around?
Yes, he's in the front lobby. He's got a gun.
We're working to find out whether the gun used in the shooting belonged to the officer or Martin. But we do know Martin was also shot and stayed in the hospital for the last 2 weeks. Martin's court appearance is scheduled for this afternoon at 1:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And of course, WRAL will be following all of the new developments in Martin's court appearance. You can keep track of it on WRAL News app as well. Turn on those notifications, though, so you can get all the information we learn as we learn it. Our team will have all the updates on WRAL News starting at 4 this afternoon.
Looking ahead, the community will honor Officer Roger Smith this weekend. A memorial ride will happen on Sunday morning. It'll start at the Garner Performing Arts Center and it'll pass Wake Med Garner. Operation Fly Our Flag is the group putting on the event. It's also selling stickers to raise money for Smith's family. The body of a dog that killed a woman in Sampson County is now being tested for rabies. The attack happened just before 6:30 last night at a home on North Peavine Road. The Sampson County Sheriff's Office says the woman had been caring for the dog for several weeks. Deputies killed that dog on the scene. Animal control officers will bring the dog's body to Raleigh to test it for rabies.
A 4-year-old boy is in the hospital this morning after he was found alone and badly injured on the side of a road in Harnett County. Patricia Vasquez says her son and daughter-in-law found the boy yesterday afternoon off Harnett Central Road in Anger. The couple was leaving their neighborhood when they saw a white Dodge pickup truck speeding down the road, dragging something underneath. When the truck stopped at a stop sign, they saw the little boy. They called 911 and went to help the little boy, but the truck kept going. Vasquez says the boy had cuts all over his body and some teeth were missing.
We asked him some questions to see if he would, talk, and he said that grandma, grandpa in Spanish. He was calling out for his grandma and grandpa. We hope so that we do find out why, what happened. Why was he under the the truck. Why was he dragged like that?
Yeah, we have reached out to the Harney County Sheriff's Office and Wake Met to get an update on the boy's condition and to find out the status of this investigation.
Many of you may be heading to the grocery store to gather the ingredients for your Thanksgiving feast, but for so many families, that's not an option. Many of them will be heading to food pantries here in the Triangle to help make ends meet. WRAL's Ali Calabar is at the Catholic Parish Outreach Food Pantry in Raleigh, where they're expecting some of the highest demand of the season this week.
They're expecting to serve about 300 families just today, and they're going to serve a cart of groceries like this one. This is only expected to last a family about a week, but they're expecting to serve double the number of families that they usually do. And CEO of Catholic Charities, Lisa Perkins, says that Thanksgiving, it's a time when families want to gather together around a meal, but they may not be able to afford the ingredients to do so. But they've been experiencing a high demand for a while now, especially this month with the government shutdown and concerns over SNAP benefits. Perkins says that their shelves are emptier than usual.
The food is just going so much faster because our numbers are rapidly accelerating. And so as you see, usually we wouldn't have empty shelves, but the demand is just hard to keep up with at this time.
And they're asking the community or anyone who can donate for monetary donations. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Ahead late this morning, we'll get a better idea of donations made in North Carolina to registered charities and professional fundraisers. North Carolina Secretary of State Elaine Marshall will release the annual NC Charities Report. It's a 12-month snapshot of donations made in our state. Marshall says the information is useful to anyone planning their holiday giving. She'll release the report at 10 o'clock this morning at the Durham Rescue Mission.
And Michelle, as the holidays approach, there's some relief for thousands of TSA workers who have not received a paycheck will receive it by today. About 90% have already gotten back pay now that the government shutdown is over. Many TSA workers missed several paychecks during that shutdown. Well, some TSA agents who worked during the shutdown are also being awarded bonuses. Yesterday, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem handed out individual $10,000 bonus checks to agents. These are agents in Minneapolis who, she says, demonstrated exemplary service during the record shutdown. Noem says more agents will be evaluated for bonuses. The department says the bonuses are paid for by using carryover funds from the past fiscal year.
Right now, we are working to learn who Raleigh police have in custody after a man was hurt in a shooting. It happened around 8 o'clock last night at an apartment complex on Buck Jones Road. Police tell us the shooting was not random and the victim has life-threatening injuries. We are also working to learn what caused a house fire that killed 2 people in Halifax County. The Enfield fire chief says it happened on Loop Road shortly after 11:30 Saturday night. When firefighters got there, most of the house was on fire. They are not identifying the victims at this time. Investigators say the cause of the fire was not suspicious.
New this morning, the woman convicted for the so-called Slender Man stabbing back in 2014 has been found. She reportedly escaped from a group home in Wisconsin. Police in Illinois say they found 23-year-old Morgan Geiser last night at a truck stop outside Chicago. Authorities say she cut off her electronic monitoring bracelet and left the group home. Geiser was 12 years old in 2014 when she and a friend lured a classmate into the woods and stabbed that classmate 19 times. They said they did it to impress, quote, Slender Man, a fictional internet-created figure.
Today, Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups is expected to plead not guilty to federal gambling charges. Billups is accused of being part of an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. Prosecutors say Billups used his fame to attract high rollers to poker tables equipped with X-ray technology and altered shuffling machines. According to an indictment, crime families backed the games. Billups is one of 31 people charged in the scheme.
President Trump could unveil a plan to address rising health care costs as soon as today. The timing and content of the proposal could change, but it appears to address expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. The Kaiser Family Foundation estimates the cost of premiums could more than double if the pandemic-era assistance ends. Democrats say their government shutdown fight was an attempt to stop that from happening. The U.S. Senate is set to vote next month on a related bill. Well, today we'll hear from North Carolina State head football coach Dave Doherty. Soren. The Wolfpack captured a major victory Friday, beating Florida State 21-11. The win means the team is now eligible for a bowl game. The Pack will play UNC this Saturday at 7:30. Coach Soren will speak at 5 this afternoon. WRAL will be listening in, and we'll let you know what he had to say.
Wednesday night at 7, don't miss Hockey for the Holidays live on WRAL. Watch the Carolina Hurricanes take on the New York Rangers for a pre-feast face-off. All the hits, the saves, and the goals are right here. It's Hockey for the Holidays, and it's only on WRAL.
Time now, 8:41. Holiday travel hiccups. Experts predict record-setting travel this Thanksgiving as a weather system moves in. What you need to know before hitting the road.
And best holiday baggage. Many of you may be packing your bags for the Thanksgiving holiday. 5 on Your Side has the highest rated luggage options you'll want to hear about before you travel.
And a cold front on the way as we look live at the WRAL Azalea Garden. Ahead meteorologist Elizabeth Garden explains when that front will arrive and the 3 changes it will bring by Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
.45, it looks like some of those cold temperatures interacting with our warmer lake surface temperatures have brought a little bit of low cloud cover, a little bit of fog there to Lake Gaston, and we're seeing that at Carr Lake this morning as well. That'll dissipate really quickly as our temperatures warm up. We'll climb into the mid-60s. If you're headed out to the grocery store, you should be fine in terms of weather, and it might not be so fine in terms of the crowds. If you can't go until after work, temperatures will be back down into the mid-50s. We take a look at our rain chances, looking at late on Tuesday into the first half of the day on Wednesday with a chance of showers. What does that mean for your travel forecast? If you're headed down I-40, if you're headed east, it'll be a little bit drier. If you're headed west from the triangle, we're looking at a better chance for rain, especially if you have to travel through the mountains. Ken?
Oh, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to follow the breaking news on I-95 southbound near in Johnston County, completely shut down, starting in Smithfield all the way over to Four Oaks. There are 2 incidents, actually. There's a crash near the Highway 301 exit in Smithfield and another crash near the I-40 interchange there on I-95 South. Your best bet will be to use Highway 301 as an alternate route. I'll have another update in less than 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Ken. When you're packing for travel, the type of bags that you have can make or break your trip. 5 on Your Side's Ashley Rowe shares which ones hold up the best when you are on the move.
Consumer Reports says hard shell luggage can offer travelers some real benefits.
A hard shell is going to give you better protection if you're packing fragile items, and it's going to offer more security because it can't be ripped open as easily, and a lot of them come with the built-in locks. Plus, it also keeps you from overstuffing your bag.
Just remember, a carry-on bag may seem like it'll fit in the overhead bin, but that's not always the case. The latest Consumer Reports investigation found that about 2/3 of carry-on bags tested were larger than the maker claimed.
Before you head to the airport, double check your carry-on against your airline size limits. If the bag's too big, you may have to check it, and that can mean extra money.
2 top-rated Consumer Reports carry-ons. The Amazon Basics 21-inch hard-side spinner is affordable, durable, and easy to pull. And the Samsonite Outline Pro carry-on spinner performed great when it came to carrying and pulling, and it really stood out for its construction. For checked luggage, brands like iFly, Away, and Traveler's Choice were well rated by CR members. Consumer Reports also recommends using a travel backpack as your personal item. The best ones fit under the seat, help you stay organized, and double as a day pack once you land. And don't forget the warranty. Many luggage brands offer 5 to 10-year coverage for defects like broken zippers, wheels, or stitching. Ashley Rowe, 5 on Your Side.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Donald Glover opening up about his recent health scares, Ken.
And a big weekend for Wicked. Here's a look at what's trending. No surprise here, right? Wicked fans all across the globe showing up in a big way on opening weekend. Wicked for Good soaring to the top of the box office. It made $226 million globally and $150 million here at home in the U.S.
Wow. And this is quite an interesting fact, too. Wicked for Good made more than the original Wicked, becoming the biggest opening ever for a Broadway musical adaptation as well. I mean, people cannot get enough.
And with Thanksgiving coming up, that's a huge movie-going time. So
absolutely.
More money to be made, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, rapper and musician Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, is opening up about a recent health scare that canceled his 2024 tour. The 42-year-old said that he had suffered a stroke last year and that doctors had discovered a hole in his heart. He says he has undergone 2 surgeries to correct the issues. And after the announcement, he is thanking his fans for all of their love and support. We're just happy he's okay.
Yeah, and at 42 years old, suffering a stroke, and not to mention one thing leading to the other.
Yes.
Mercifully, they found those issues.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, Jimmy Cliff, a legendary musician who expanded the popularity of reggae around the world, has died. He was best known for songs including Many Rivers to Cross and The Harder They Come, as well as his rendition of I Can See Clearly Now from the movie Cool Runnings. Cliff scored his first local hit at age 14 with Hurricane Hattie. He went on to win 2 Grammy Awards. He was only one of 2 Jamaicans to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside Bob Marley. He was 81 years old.
Oh my God, in the Virgin Islands, I grew up on Jimmy Cliff's music. Love it. Well, good thoughts and prayers to his family. Well, this could be the busiest Thanksgiving travel week we've ever seen. Experts predicting nearly 82 million travelers this week. It's marking with a rocky start in New York. A system outage temporarily shut down operations for several airlines at JFK Airport, causing delays. Officials have not explained what caused that issue, though. Others are hoping to avoid airline delays altogether by hitting the road. There's some weather systems moving across the country, so keep that in mind. They'll bring widespread rain, thunderstorms, and even some snow in some parts of the U.S.
Yeah, earlier I was showing a line of storms that was moving across Dallas, creating a lot of delays and cancellations in Texas as well. So we always tell you just check your flight before you head out the door because weather is a huge factor.
It really will be, and such a busy time to travel too. We take a live look at what's happening behind us here in Chapel Hill. Absolutely gorgeous, but we are tracking that front that Michelle was talking about rolling through Dallas. That arrives here late on Tuesday into early Wednesday, and that's going to bring us some rain, but nothing like what they're seeing back to our west. 39 is our temperature right now. We climb into the mid-60s this afternoon. It's 39 in Roxborough and 38 in Chapel Hill, 40 in Rocky Mount, 41 in Southern Pines, 46 down in Fayetteville, 39 in Cary, 40 in Knightdale, 38 in Durham. So temperatures are starting to warm up. Right now, temperatures are running between 5 and 10 or so degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And the afternoon temperatures will be fairly similar to what we saw on Sunday, mid-60s in Durham and Raleigh and nearly 70 degrees in Fayetteville. Our next weather maker is that front crossing the country right now. Ahead of it will be warmer tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll see some rain along with the front, and then behind it, we turn much cooler for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and the weekend. 61 is our normal high, 74 for Wednesday. That'll be close to a record high, and then our temperatures really drop Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. It'll feel definitely a whole lot more like winter. Thanksgiving travel, we'll see some rain late Wednesday, rain for the first half of the day, but none of it looks very heavy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all should be dry for your travels. We take a look at that Thanksgiving Day forecast. Temperatures in the morning maybe in the 60s, but we'll fall into the mid-50s by the afternoon. It will be breezy at times. And of course, we have that chance for rain late Tuesday for the first half of Wednesday. But all total, it's probably going to be less than 1/4 of an inch, so not something you have to be too concerned about. Even though we have those showers in our forecast for Wednesday, it's going to be the first half of the day. So if you're headed to the Hurricanes game on Wednesday, you should be fairly dry. Or you could tune in. It's hockey for the holidays on Wednesday. You can watch it on WRAL. And then, of course, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. It's going to be a busy weekend, but some chilly temperatures, 27 on Saturday morning.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic coming up next.